How many of you grew up like I did? Not rich. It causes you to want to take rather than to serve. By the time I was 26 years old, I had $4 million worth of real estate, a little over $1 million net worth, and it was fun too. You get more money, it will make you more of what you are right now. If you are miserable and you get money, you will be lots of miserable. If you're a jerk and you get money, big jerk. It's also going to make your opportunities bigger. If you're a generous person, your generosity will go into overdrive. It was fun, you guys, but I did stupid stuff. I had borrowed too much money. That started a crash that took 2.5 years to unfold, and we lost everything we owned. I spent the whole year selling stuff, trying to pay my bills and trying to honor those things that I signed, and I couldn't do it because stupid will catch you and tackle you. And I had signed up for stupid on steroids. You know, this is a cool story. You start with nothing, you become a millionaire. You lost everything, now you're a multimillionaire. How did you bounce back? I went, dude, when you fall that far, you really don't bounce. It was more of a splat. I'd like to tell you I bounced back, but I didn't. I sat around whined and blamed everybody else. And you ever do something stupid and blame everybody else? Now, I won't tell you it was instant. It was not instant. If you're looking for instant, if you want get rich quick, God is not in the microwave business. He's a crock pot guy. It's going to take time. But man, when you start living your life this way, this is a compass. It shows you which way's north, and you're not lost anymore.
Are you living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, and wondering if you'll ever break free? The average American carries over $90,000 in debt while barely saving 5% of their income. Financial stress is literally killing us, causing anxiety, destroying marriages, and keeping millions awake at night. But what if the solution isn't about making more money, but changing how you think about it? Today, I'm sharing Dave Ramsey's most powerful life advice that transformed millions of lives from financial disaster to true wealth and freedom. His unconventional wisdom might seem harsh at first, but by the end of this video, you'll understand why his principles have helped more people escape financial ruin than almost any other financial expert alive. Before we dive into Dave Ramsey's life-changing advice, let's understand why millions trust him in the first place. Dave isn't just another finance guru. He's someone who experienced spectacular failure firsthand. In his 20s, Dave built a $4 million real estate portfolio, only to lose everything when the banks called his loans. By age 28, he was bankrupt, humiliated, and desperate. This rock-bottom experience shaped his philosophy. Dave rebuilt his life using the exact principles he now teaches. His advice comes from painful personal experience, not just theory. Today, Dave's radio show reaches over 18 million listeners weekly. He's sold millions of books, and his Financial Peace University has helped countless families eliminate debt. What makes his approach different is that it focuses on behavior change, not just numbers. One of Dave's most controversial yet effective principles is the Debt Snowball method. Unlike conventional advice that says to pay off high-interest debt first, Dave recommends listing all your debts from smallest to largest, regardless of interest rate, and attacking the smallest one first. Why? Because personal finance is 80% behavior and only 20% head knowledge. Quick wins create momentum. Paying off that first small debt gives you a psychological victory that motivates you to keep going. Critics argue this isn't mathematically optimal. Dave's response? If you were doing math, you wouldn't be in debt in the first place. This acknowledges a profound truth. Our financial problems often stem from emotional decisions, not mathematical ignorance. The Debt Snowball approach has helped millions become debt-free because it works with human psychology, not against it. Live like no one else now, so later you can live like no one else. This mantra captures Dave's countercultural approach to wealth building. In a society that encourages immediate gratification, Dave advocates temporary sacrifice for long-term freedom. This means driving used cars while others finance new ones, living below your means while others stretch their budgets, saving and investing while others accumulate debt, saying no now so you can say yes later. Dave often tells the story of his old car that he drove long after he could afford a luxury vehicle. While friends questioned his choice, he was building wealth that eventually allowed him greater freedom than those with impressive cars but massive debt. This principle isn't about deprivation, it's about intentional choices. It's choosing financial independence over impressing others. The importance of emergency fund. Dave's research shows that 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. His solution starts with a $1,000 emergency fund, followed by a fully funded reserve of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Why is this so crucial? Because emergencies aren't a matter of if, but when. Medical issues, car repairs, job losses, these aren't extraordinary events. They're normal parts of life. Dave shares countless stories of listeners who avoided financial catastrophe because they had cash reserves. One memorable example is a family who faced a sudden job loss during the 2008 recession but maintained stability because they had 6 months of expenses saved. An emergency fund isn't just financial insurance. It provides peace of mind. It turns what would be crises into mere inconveniences. Perhaps Dave's most powerful teaching is that true wealth isn't about accumulation but allocation. He encourages outrageous generosity as the ultimate financial goal. Dave often quotes research showing that generous people are happier, healthier, and even live longer. But beyond these benefits, he emphasizes that generosity reflects proper perspective about money's role in our lives. He shares stories of everyday people using financial freedom to make extraordinary impacts, funding medical care for strangers, anonymously paying off others' debts, supporting causes they're passionate about. This advice challenges the cultural assumption that wealth is primarily for personal comfort and status. Instead, Dave suggests that the greatest joy comes from using resources to improve others' lives. Avoid debt at all costs. Debt is dumb. Cash is king is another Ramsey mantra. While most financial experts distinguish between good debt and bad debt, Dave takes a more radical stance. All debt represents risk and limits freedom. This even applies to mortgage debt, which Dave suggests should ideally be limited to 15-year fixed-rate loans where the payment is no more than 25% of take-home pay. Dave often quotes Proverbs 22 verse 7. The borrower is slave to the lender. This isn't just financial advice, but a philosophy about freedom. Every debt represents a claim on your future income and limits your options. His listeners share powerful testimonies of how becoming debt-free allowed them to change careers, start businesses, reduce work hours to spend time with family, or weather financial storms that would have otherwise destroyed them. Perhaps Dave's most countercultural advice is about contentment. In a consumer society that profits from dissatisfaction, learning contentment becomes revolutionary. Dave argues that marketing constantly creates artificial needs, making us feel insufficient without certain products or experiences. Breaking free requires conscious reflection on what truly matters. He recommends practices like gratitude journaling, avoiding retail therapy, distinguishing between wants and needs, finding joy in relationships and experiences rather than possessions. This doesn't mean never enjoying nice things. Rather, it means intentionally choosing purchases based on values instead of advertising pressure or keeping up appearances. Dave's ultimate financial advice extends beyond our lifetimes. He emphasizes that true wealth building includes thoughtful legacy planning. This encompasses proper estate planning documents, teaching children financial responsibility, intentional charitable giving, values-based inheritance decisions. Dave often talks about the concept of generational wealth, not just passing money to future generations, but passing wisdom about managing it well. He shares stories of families who created positive multi-generational impact through thoughtful legacy planning. Dave Ramsey's life advice ultimately isn't about money at all. It's about freedom, peace, and purpose. His principles challenge us to examine our relationship with money and how it affects every aspect of our lives. Whether you're deep in debt or already building wealth, these principles provide a roadmap for using money as a tool rather than letting it use you. Financial peace isn't about how much you have, but how you manage what you have. If you found value in these insights, please subscribe and share this video. In the comments, I'd love to hear which piece of Dave's advice resonated most with you. Remember, as Dave would say, you can change your financial future, but it starts with changing yourself today.